All right, good morning. So I am super excited today because we are launching our new IT Business Builder Sales Leader subscription training program. Now, some of you have been part of our educational series in the last few months. We've been sending out lots and lots of video about lots of things on the things we think you find important with respect to leading your sales teams, growing your sales teams, hiring your sales teams. Some of you may not know we actually have a training center. Now, the training center, the reason we haven't promoted it in a while is candidly the content on it's really old. So we've been working diligently over the last couple of years to build new content. And all the content you're going to see on our training center, the new training center, has to do with the on-site engagements we've been doing for the last few years. So I think you'll appreciate the detail and the role plays, the very specific things you're trying to do with your salespeople. We can help you do that. And one of the reasons why we did this is because we don't have the bandwidth to work with every company that needs our help. This is a way for us to help some of the smaller accounts and some of the folks that have sales folks that they want to make them better, and they don't have a resource and a mechanism for doing that. And this program is designed for everybody or anyone who's part of the sales team. So sales professionals, BDRs, ISRs, account managers, marketing folks, and more importantly, for you sales owners who are running your sales teams yourself, where you're the top salesperson and you have one or two other reps supporting you. If you're a sales manager and you're trying to support sales folks as well, this is ideal for you. We're going to show you how we do it. And we manage multiple sales teams across the country. As we go in as a CRO and manage VPs of sales in their entire sales organization. We come in as chief sales officer and manage a sales manager and a couple of reps. We've been the actual sales manager of one or two people in a company. So all of those cadences that we've developed so we could do that remotely and effectively, we put into this training program. So I want, for the first time since you've been watching our webinars here, or my videos, I guess, if you will, I never really talked about myself, but those of you some of you know me, some of you don't know me, but it's a little bit of background on myself. I'm only showing you this because I want you to appreciate how much time and energy that me and my team have put into putting this program together for you. It's really a lot of work, but we believe in it, and I tell you, I run into folks at events all the time, and it touches my heart every time someone tells me, hey, I read your book, or I picked up something off your website that helped me grow my business. One of my best examples was a guy, I think was at an Ingram event a year or so ago, came to one of our boot camps years ago, and essentially, what he said, he was about $10,000 a month in MRR, and today he's $290,000 in MRR. It's probably more now. And he attributed a big part of it with what we helped him understand at our boot camps. Now, I will tell you, we probably had very little to do with it. He just turns out to be a phenomenal leader and took the information we gave him, and it became his process and his approach, and he didn't back down from the resistance of some of the folks on his team, and he made it happen. And that's why this John Maxwell certification for me is probably the most important thing. Everything we're going to teach you in this program and your folks in this program won't matter if they can't lead. If they can't lead themselves, number one, which is the hardest thing to do, and you see the book list we put here, and you're going to see this throughout the training. A lot of our content is referred from some of these books, particularly the QBS book, and certainly John Maxwell. The Channel to Sales new to the sort of our book list of books to read, and Traction's new, but we've adopted the Traction philosophy and incorporated it in some of our training. You'll see that as well. I also spent a lot of time in the U.S. Army, 14 years in fact, retired as a captain. The only reason I bring that up is because I have a passion and an understanding of what it takes to train folks. Now, all of our classes have test questions. We did, probably 6-7 years ago, we had a website with nothing but videos for folks to watch. Wasn't bad, people got a lot of value, but that wasn't training them. It was simply educating them. But now we put test questions, which takes a long time for our team to develop that. So I really want you to appreciate and understand how important that is. So we've got an enormous amount of experience around anything related to building a sales organization, executing the sales function, managing sales professionals, leading sales professionals, and leading being the important ingredient in this, but helping you understand what it takes to be successful at that. So I really hope you'll take a look at this program, and it's designed for your entire group, not for, essentially all of the sales people that are in your team. We're even going to teach you how to build that team if you don't know how to do it. And we also want your help. At the end, I think the last slide, I asked, one of the questions we ask is, will you help us develop the content? So if there's something in here that we didn't put in here, I literally want you to tell us. Now, what we're also going to do is have your sales folks come on. We have a monthly call we're going to use Microsoft Teams for. So if any of your sales resources that you put on this program with us, we're going to have a monthly call. So any questions they're having around how to get meetings, how to close deals, how to structure deals, vertical specific content, which we're working diligently on, or how to conduct a first meeting properly, or just questions that they may have, they don't have any place else to go, or you don't have time to help them, we will help them. And clearly, we're going to save that data so everybody has access to it. We're going to give them the ability to email us unlimited as much as they want with a question. They could be getting ready to go on an engagement and have a question about an opportunity. Ping us through email, and one of my chief sales officers or myself, depending on who it is and what it is, will get on a quick call or trace some email with them to help them close more business. So we really want to build kind of an MSP sales leader community as part of this process. So let's get into it. So I kind of covered already quickly the folks that I think are the most applicable, but here are the courses. So it's over 100 hours of new content. Now the ones that are highlighted in blue are specifically targeted for you $1 to $5 million MSPs who are the sales leader yourself. Maybe you have a rep, maybe you don't, but you're doing most, if not all, of the selling. So even if you're doing it with someone else, you're probably doing 70-80% of the sales, and you're paying another sales rep who's not doing as much. We wanted to put together some very specific things for you around how you should teach yourself or learn how to sell as well, because that's certainly important. But also, when does it make sense for you to bring in a BDR rep? When does it make sense for you to bring in a sales rep? We're going to teach you those pieces because we've been doing that with folks. We figured it out. Now, right here, you're going to see a lot of content in here around healthcare. That's our chosen vertical for this month. We're going to pick out another vertical, but everything you need to do to learn how to launch a healthcare vertical, marketing and sales, the plan is in here. We've developed it. We've got probably 6 or 7 companies in it right now doing it. So one of the things we're going to do is every single week, at least for the next 12 weeks, we're going to be adding content. So anything that's new that's happening that we're learning, because we're role-playing little with someone every day on some sales call or some sales engagement, whether that be on-site or on using Zoom. So we do a lot of this work. So the benefit of us having you put your people in here is they can learn from real-world examples of how to scrub a list properly, how to set meetings, how to market, how to send campaigns out by themselves without having to have a marketing rep support them. All of this type of stuff that you're trying to get solved today, right now. I don't care whether you have 1 rep or 25 reps. Your reps will get something out of this. They will be better than they are after attending our course. I can guarantee you that. And we're going to test them to see if they can retain it. The onboarding program is also very important. We have a 60-day onboarding program that we use today when we go on site for clients and support their sales reps. We're going to give you access to that and show you how to build that yourself. And certainly we're going to change your sales professionals. Now, right now, most of the training is around how to conduct the first visit, the sales process itself. I think we have a 29 to 51 step process. We show you that process in detail. We're also going to bolt on some more solution stack training over time. Right now, we're focusing on just teaching them how to get the first meeting, because without that, they can have all the solution knowledge that they want. If they can't get the first meeting, they'll never get a chance to show anybody how much they know. Then how to build an organization. The org chart piece is very important. The marketing manager piece is important because do you have a marketing manager on staff today? Do you need one? Should you outsource it? We talk about how much we teach clients how to outsource IT to us. Sometimes it makes sense to outsource the marketing. Sometimes it makes sense to outsource the BDR. We've done all of it both ways. And part of our training will help you understand your situation in terms of when it makes sense for you to do one or both or build it in-house. And it really comes back to you as a leader and the plan and the strategy you have for building your sales organization, which we'd love to help you figure that out too. but we're going to share with you what we've done with other folks trying to do exactly the same thing you're doing, so you don't have to make the mistakes. And I guarantee you, you will pick up things from our training and you'll go, wow, I didn't think of doing it that way, but I think this makes sense for me. And you'll always have access to ask questions about whatever content you see here. So if it's not in the depth or the perspective that you were looking for, we can clear that up for you. Say, well, why did we decide to do it this way? There's a reason. And there's always exceptions to everything, as we've always talked about. The only thing that's absolute is that nothing is absolute. So keep that in the back of your mind. So let's jump in a little bit, just a little more detail. So if you have these issues, you can't project sales for the next year or the next 2 years out. Well, we've got some calculators. We'll show you exactly how to do that, and it's based on the new meeting strategy. And we reverse engineer that back from the amount of marketing qualified leads, MQLs, that you have, and we'll show you how to project revenue. And then you just got to hit on target quota, which isn't easy, but it's not impossible either. Then what does it take to manage, sales professionals and lead them? It's not easy. I mean, one of the things we run into, and I call it the tech CEOs, you noticed here, because we use DISC profiles as a big part of our onboarding process when we're hiring and interviewing folks for sales positions. And a lot of our tech CEOs are high Ds, high Cs, and they're the polar opposites of these sales folks. And it's a hard thing for them to learn how to do. And one of my clients said, and he's the ideal tech CEO in every way, and a phenomenal leader in his own right, done a great job, been in the industry forever. But he says to me, he's like, Gary, this sales rep guy's a different animal. I've never seen anything like it, because he talks all the time and he won't stop. I said, yes, but when he's talking about you and telling your story and building your brand and getting in front of folks in the right way, that's what we want from him, right? So you just got to learn how to manage this person, learn how to listen, when to support them, how to support them. Because if you can build the confidence within them, they're going to want to sell for you forever. And that's really what you're looking for. And how do you hire them? How do you find them and how do you hire them? It's not easy. Everybody's trying to do it. So you've got to be better at it than someone else, and we can help you with that because we do it effectively for everyone every day with the clients that ask us to do that for them. Clearly, this is a no-brainer. Every sales rep needs help scheduling meetings. So we've kind of shown you how to do it. There's like 7 different ways of doing it, and you're not going to get there just by doing email campaigns and call downs. So we show you how to do that as well. And then I had a couple engagements here, one up in Canada where they actually had the meeting thing down. It was fantastic. In fact, they had outsourced it, and the outsourced partner was phenomenal. We work with them too today. But they could not get the first visit completed, meaning the rep was going on 5 first visit meetings every month, and in 6 months hadn't closed any of them. Seems unbelievable. But no business needs analysis at all. No training on how to conduct the first visit. No training on how to prep for it. None of that. No PowerPoint decks to keep everybody aligned. And I know some of you guys are pro or anti-PowerPoint. I don't really care which one you care about. If you want to duplicate it, you have to create a system and a process for doing that. Or why are you doing it? And one of the problems some of you tech CEOs who've been doing this forever, and you don't call yourself a sales professional, and I will agree with you, you're probably not, but what you are good at, which is the thing that matters the most, is educating and training folks. And they respond to that. They know they know the knowledge that you have, and they can sense in the sales engagement that you're the right person to get the job done. The problem is this person, new sales professional you've hired, who's been in the business 5 or 10 years, can't tell the story like you can. They haven't been on hundreds, if not thousands, of sales engagements in the last 25 years. And the prospect can tell that. So by all means, train them, or let us do it if you don't have the training. Not training them is not good. BDRs, SDRs, depending on how you're structured. This is a big one. How to scrub lists. I run into this all the time. We have engagements where people have lists they've had forever, 6, 8, 10,000 names, and we're marketing to it like crazy, and we're getting some meetings, but we're getting bad meetings, too small, people out of business. We didn't spend time to scrub the contacts that we have. We've got a very solid process for how to do this. And if you don't solve this piece and do it properly, you'll just be marketing to a lot of the wrong people, and you won't get meetings with the right folks, and you can't maintain the schedule. But if you do that right, your BDR, which we're a big believer of having a BDR before you have a sales rep and not trying to have them both do both jobs. But in the case that you do, they still need to go through this training and learn how to do it, because we figured out how to do it properly. Now, I talked about this a little bit earlier, but the piece I want to stress here is establishing a leadership culture. And that starts with you as the boss, as the person in charge. I'll go back to John Maxwell. Do you have a level 2 relationship with all of your sales folks? And for that matter, with everybody on the sales team? And do you know what that is? And do they understand what that is? That's why if you train them around the 5 levels of leadership and they all buy into the concept of it, they'll work toward that. It's really, really, really important. And how much training is enough. And I'm not talking about the vendor training. That's easy. I'm talking about training them how to do their actual job. When you go in, do you know how to do a warm-up properly? Do you even understand what that is? Like people say to me sometimes in surveys, what's a warm-up? And you can call it what you want, but building a relationships and selling is still a huge thing and probably always will be. How good are you at doing that? And how good are you at managing these folks? And if you don't know how to pay them properly, do you have the right compensation plan to attract people to your organization? I've run into this a few times where the compensation plan, I'm trying to find what we call a first round draft pick and bring them over to your company, and your comp plan didn't work. So we have to figure out what it takes to do that. And if you're not good at leading these folks and don't want to do it, then you've got to find an answer for that. And we've got some ideas in our training to teach you how to do that as well. Now again, tech CEOs, how do you build a sales organization? So what do you start with? If it's just you right now and you're a startup, or not even a startup, you've just been around for 3 or 4 or 5, even 10 years and you're ready to start to build it, we teach you how to do that properly. Because how you start out first, because a lot of you have gone out and hired your first sales rep, paid them 40, 50, 60,000 a year. They were there for a year, then make one sale. And some of you become highly disgruntled or discouraged around sales professionals. And I will tell you, that's not the issue. The issue is how you went about finding that first sales hire. And it may not be the sales rep that you should hire first. It might be the BDR, and teach them how to do that. And even within the ISR structure, your account manager, inside sales rep, how are you using them? This hunter-farmer concept is a no-brainer if you do it right. You have to do both. Now, how you do both is a lot of ways of going about doing that. So we've got a lot of training around that. You can have the sales professional come on board and hunt and farm, and I've seen that done. I've seen them come in with the BDRs doing the hunting, setting up the meetings, and then somebody else, account manager, ISR, using a VCIO engagement, is doing the farming. There's lots of ways of doing it right. And we can help you make that decision so you don't do it right. And candidly, what it comes back to is, simply put, is just the staff and the folks that you have. The concepts we're talking about today are not new. Anything I've told you right now is not something you've never heard before. So the trick to it is, or the key to it is, how do you structure it and set it up in such a way and lead the people through it? That's the hardest part. Now, how do you motivate sales professionals? It's not easy. And if you don't know how to do it and you're struggling with it, you're going to struggle with keeping people to keep working for you. Now, CRM and dashboards, we've got a lot of those. We're going to show you the things that we use that work for us. We like keeping things like this extremely simple. How to set quotas and accountability. If you build accountability culture within your sales professional team, it'll change everything. And everybody can't work for you. Everybody can't be there. If they can't perform and produce results, then you need to release them back to industry and move on. And the people need to understand that that's the leadership culture you set in place. We're an accountability company. You say that to all of your clients, they hold you accountable. Why would you let the sales folks off? So for those of you who struggle with that, we're going to teach you and train you how to do that properly. And literally it starts from how you set the first engagement when you first meet with them and start to onboard them. Set that into your DNA or their DNA right from the beginning. And they'll understand if it comes to a point where it doesn't work out, they won't be upset. They get it. They knew they had a certain number to hit. They didn't do it. It's been documented, and we have documentation to show you how to do that properly, and it makes sense for everyone. So our program is $77 a month until June 30th. This is the exact same price on our site now for our program that's already been up there for years. So we're going to change the price to $99 on July 1st. So and this is not a sales tactic to get you to buy now and try to wait till then. I'm telling you today, and the only reason it's still that price is we had some hiccups with the technology to switch it to $99, and I didn't want to wait any longer. But we're working through that. But I want to give you an opportunity to participate in this program, and it's month to month. And there's 100+ hours of training for all of your sales staff. So everybody's one fee for everyone. So if you've got one rep or 50 reps, they all can log in and join, and you can see what they're doing, and it'll alert you as they're completing sessions. I suggest you go in there yourself and do the training as well, so you can see the value of what training you want them to participate in. We also 20 plus hours of recorded role plays. That number is going to change every week because we're going to post them up there as we do that. And everybody who's part of our Microsoft Teams meetings will get a notification that there's a new role play around whatever. And if you want us to role play with some of your people through the Microsoft Teams situation, we will do that too. Unlimited email support with sales-related questions. Now, I want to stress the point, sales-related questions. You send those in, we'll have somebody manning that 24/7. We're not doing it on the weekends, but Monday through Friday. And if that needs to kick up to me, I will do it. If not, one of my CSOs will take care of it. But this other point here, training content request. If anything you don't see on our library of content you think you need, or say, hey, if you guys could help us with this, whatever it is, it's not a piece of technology in the space that we're not touching. Because our clients, we do enterprise engagements, we do SMB engagements. So $150 million clients is probably at our top end right now, all the way down to $2 million. So whatever you're selling today or trying to sell, we are dealing with it in one form or another. Now, I will tell you, most of the training that you see is designed for the SMB sales rep. It's not necessarily designed for the enterprise rep. Not that they won't get anything out of it, but they're doing things differently. And we're going to launch more of an enterprise sales training focus later, but most of the folks we work with are using or engaging SMB size clients, and that's why this training is targeted specifically for them. So if you're doing something different than that, let us know. We can certainly put something together because we're doing enterprise engagements every day as well, so we thoroughly understand it. So I hope this is helpful. I'm looking forward to working with you. Please click on the link or go to our website and just click on the ITBB membership that's on the site. And we'd love to have you as part of our new sales leader subscription program. And I appreciate your time today. Thank you.